Hello, I'm just taking the video, the greenhouse where I planted the tomato plant in January. It takes 3 weeks and I did it day by day and little by little. And this is the last part I planted. If I look at it, leaves, it's very yellow because they have been here. I've been like this for the growing in the polytunnel for 3 months. I can't believe it. It's such a long time, and they need a lot of nutrition. I mean, the lack of nutrition. That's why leaves turn to yellow. But they are drinking nutrition at the moment, so it's gonna be fine. A week or 10 days. If I look closely, they have nice flower. They start blooming, and I'm gonna do pollinate them by myself using a tomato ton. If I look at this, tomatoes growing very healthy and well in this in the greenhouse, and I'm going to harvest the tomatoes on April to June. So I'm looking care of them every day, carefully. And so I have a look the first place I planted. So let's move. This is the aisle I planted the first time. It was over 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. They are very green. They used to have yellow leaves, but now they had they took nutrition, and they leaves are green and they look healthy. Now let's have a look at the tomatoes. So if I look closely at the tomato, they pollinated the 4 tomatoes right here, and they have 4 tomatoes. So I'm going to cut and sort out later when they get a little bit bigger. So if I look, so most of the tomato plant have tomatoes like this. It's very lovely. And so I'm going to tell you, it takes 3 weeks to get this size of tomato. But it's a summertime, I mean autumn. It just grow like this in just a week. But now in the winter season, it takes 3 weeks. So that means they grow very slowly and steady. This. And you can see second flowers right here. These lines, that is really short. So the reason is the winter. They grow very slowly. Did I show you the last time on a video I took in September? The tomato, usually first tomatoes comes here, right here. And the second one and the third ones go over this wire, above this wire. So it was very tall. They were very tall and very difficult to look at them because they are complicated and each other because it's too long. And they have too much leaves. But now in the winter season, it's very easy to look after them because they're shorter. That helps me and a lot of time to looking after them. So this is a tomato aisles. I'm looking at tomato flowers which are pollinated. So big difference is if the flowers pollinated, this part's colors changed. They become a dark color, and this part getting stronger, thicker and thicker, strong enough to hold tomato. That's the reason tomato is getting ready for have a tomato right here. I'm taking the tomato flowers before the pollination. This tomato I planted 2 days ago, and they have flower is still small, and they are very, very green. If they are pollinated, this part colors changes day by day, getting darker and darker, this part, and getting thicker and thicker and strong. And after that, they are ready to hold tomatoes. This is another plot. I planted these tomatoes a week ago, and they look healthy. I just finished the tomato ton. So we turn around to the other side. There are still tomato plant. Now I'm picking the tomato, and now is the beginning of February, and I'm going to cut them after I finished the harvesting. So I'm going to plant a new plant right here, or maybe middle of February. So I show you later what I'm going to do. So right now I'm in a polytunnel. I'm growing a tomato plant right here, and I planted these tomatoes at the end of November. The 2 months have just passed, and they are very, very healthy. And I'm going to plant them middle of February, the place I show you last time, that place. And have a look. Can see the tomatoes bud right here. So maybe 2 weeks or so, they are ready to be planted in a big tomato greenhouse. Now I'm taking the roses. These roses have a nice, very beautiful color, because that is the reason. One of the reasons is the winter. The daytime is really hot, pretty enough hot, and the nighttime it's cool. I mean cold. That means the difference with the temperature that makes the plant, and the rose makes the color is brighten and beautiful. If you look that one, and you can see roses as well. So I can say the same things to the tomato. The daytime it's warm, and the nighttime it's cold. That makes tomato is growing very slow and very, very sweet one. So I'm growing the tomato in the winter season and going to harvest in the beginning of the spring. That is the reason I can have a very, very lovely sweet tomatoes. So I can say the same thing. Maybe I can say the same thing to the other plant.